Let's take a look at a popular myth about a CBDC and a rug pull, and the proclamation that the end is near. Last Thursday, President Trump issued an order banning the creation of a national central bank digital currency, otherwise known as a CBDC. Now, here's a quick look at the executive order on the official whitehouse.gov website. And we can see a CBDC is prohibited within the jurisdiction of the United States. Now, there's more to it, but the short version is that any initiatives related to that creation of a CBDC in the United States has been immediately terminated, and no further actions may be taken to develop such plans or initiatives. It's pretty clear. There's no real way to misinterpret this. Now, I've talked about the CBDC topic quite a bit here, sometimes to just explain the possible ramifications, sometimes simply in response to the weird doom hype. Now, I pointed out that a lot of the people pushing the fear didn't seem to know what a CBDC was to begin with, talking about payment platforms like FedNow as if a CBDC had just rolled out, because that bird in the hand is a lot scarier than one in the bush. And I also mentioned we shouldn't even be so sure that it's going to roll out at all, because politically it'd be very popular to oppose a CBDC entirely. I mentioned to push to digital transactions. That's just a matter of if, not when. But that US CBDC, that might never happen, because the civil liberties that would be directly affected are too important to too many people. Now, this is not meant to be some kind of told you so. That's not what I'm after at all. I'm just doing this to hopefully flush the topic, start over, reboot, whatever you want to call it, and point out that the strange doom and gloom hype that's so popular is usually just that, strange. People bend the news to fit a popular fear, and they cry wolf every time they see a dog, a cat, or a banana. In this case, they're telling you if you don't get all your money into precious metals, the government is going to force you into a CBDC, and that they're going to pull the rug out on you. Take everything you have. So look, we're here to talk about having a non-zero position in gold. I think you should get yourself some, but you should do it in a way that makes sense rather than a way that forces bad decisions or just simply puts you in a bad position. Now, there are reasons to have an asset outside of the banking system, regardless of whether some top-level scheme is there to steal the fortunes of an entire population. It sounds ridiculous to even say it, but I'm sure that now that I'm going to be fielding comments about how overly trusting I am. Now, I'm just saying that having some gold outside the banking system is a good idea. The part that's going to trigger some people is me saying it's not from some grand conspiracy, some kind of great reset that amounts to publicly stealing all of our money. Now, there's more to this executive order, though, that's relevant here. There were some obstacles, some regulations on digital assets that are being removed, and it verifies this talk of a potential national digital asset stockpile, so a store of stable coins and probably Bitcoin. And you just file that one away as information. All I'm hoping to do in this video is give you some information to help you connect those important dots based on facts. Now, none of this is negative for gold or silver. It's simply positive for your civil liberties. This is a good thing. This is good for your privacy. This is good for your ability to continue to buy what you want. And on that note, I'm not saying go and buy up all the Bitcoin that you can. All the prior risks for digital assets still exist. That's not FUD lore. That's just saying Bitcoin is really something you need to understand if you intend to hold it. You need to understand how to secure it, how to access it, how to not lose your digital wallet and your passphrase. Now, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's something we say with gold. Same thing applies to digital assets, more or less. So let's balance this out. If you're not interested in crypto cold wallets, you might be interested in something more like this. Summit Metals is a sponsor here. They've got all the gold and silver you need, so be sure to check them out, summitmetals.com. So it's news, it's relevant, but let's not get off track here. Gold still maintains its role as a stable asset. That's what's important. It balances out all these other things, and I'd say it's a great way to save. It's something that would be very hard for a Russian hacker to get a hold of. Presumably. That wasn't a challenge, guys. I've got enough of that going on already. Gold is just something you have a plan for. It shouldn't be a spur-of-the-moment thing that you buy just because some goofball is pounding the table telling you the end is near. So I hope all this clears up the CBDC hype and misinformation. As for digital assets go, because that was in there as well, I think the best way to look at this is gold being a risk-off asset. It's meant to balance out risk-on assets, those speculative assets, and yeah, the digital assets too. So if your government is looking to hold more of those, the digital assets, the speculative assets, the riskier assets, well, then gold just got more important. The counterbalance is more important. So my point here is that, yeah, there's a lot of doom and gloom out there giving us some weird narratives on why you need something when the real reason is right there in front of us. You need to have something safe. Maybe a non-zero position in gold is that something. So let's call it good there. Hit us up in the comments with your take. What you think of the executive order crushing any CBDC initiatives, what you think of a national stockpile of Bitcoin. Maybe just what you think of gold as a proper counterbalance here. Let us know. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit the like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you want to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.